Yeah, I mean, I can...
Yeah, it sucks because...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, you know I'm talking nonsense most of the time, so you say you're
We're
smart.
all talking nonsense, that's why we're here. That's going to be the intro tagline, isn't it?
Hello, monsters, and welcome back to the House of Delusion, your go-to Lady Gaga podcast. My name is Billy, joined of course by my co-hosts Cal and Bling, and today, the House of Delusion is going international. That's right, we are joined by a special guest all the way from Germany, Pop Explained YouTube creator, Freud. He'll be helping us dissect and analyze the most recent LG7 snippets from Gaga herself.
Willkommen, Freud. Hi everyone, this is Cal. Today we're going to be deep diving into the newest LG7 snippets, decode any lyrics, see how the snippets stack up against our theories, and we've also got some juicy rumors to share and some Joker updates.
Hey delulus, it's Bling. I've been doing my best not to listen to the new snippets on repeat. I should have learned my lesson from the Chromatica and Joanne eras. I'm super excited to introduce our special guest. His YouTube channel features LG7 speculations and theories, as well as Joker trailer and Gaga reactions and more. Everyone give a warm House of Delusion welcome to Freud.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. And to our German listeners, I do speak German and I can if you like. Ow! Yeah, I'm ready to dive into these LG7 snippets and share some theories of my own.
I'm beyond hyped, so don't forget to join the conversation on our social media channels. You can follow us on Twitter by searching @House of Delulu and join our community on Discord by searching discord.gg/House of Delulu. Additionally, don't forget to check out Freud's content. You can find him under @Freud.officialmusic on YouTube. Now, let's kick things off with the latest Gaga news and rumors before we dive into today's main topic. Alrighty folks, so let's dive into our first bit of news here. So as we all know, Gaga teased some music in Paris on the Sunday after her performance at the Olympics. And after that, she went silent. So from July 29th, 30th, and 31st, we heard nothing. Up until August 1st, that is, where we actually got some more Joker stills from Empire magazine via J Phoenix Updates on Twitter, I believe. And then 2 days later, on August 3rd, we got some more information from Empire magazine. Gaga is stated in there to say, it's a film that doesn't just have one genre. It uses music in an extremely specific way. So the music is treated in a different way than she does on stage, and she describes it as an extension of dialogue. More on that, Todd Phillips described it as musicality without traditional constraints, without sounding extremely panned or choreographed. So that's super interesting, and the magazine further elaborates that the way the characters sing challenges our perceptions of what a musical is. There are no big choreographed street numbers. It's just Arthur and Lee sharing the world. So what do you guys think about all that?
Well, I loved seeing the new high quality pictures because I feel like up until now, besides the trailer, it had just kind of been like the same promotional photos. As far as the interview, it's really exciting because I feel, the main thing we compare this to probably is A Star Is Born, but it's sounding like it's going to kind of mirror the last scene in the newest trailer where Gaga is just sort of like impromptu singing. It's not going to be, shallow or always remember us this way. It's going to be very different. And with what Todd Phillips is saying, I don't know, it's shaping up to be very unconventional. And I don't know, the reactions from the screenings have been great. So
Yeah, wasn't there... I think it was the director of the Venice Film Festival saw an early cut of it and was blown away by it.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I do remember that factoid. I do think, like, everyone who I guess is involved in this film or have seen this film and is a bigger expert on, I guess, the history of musicals is really excited and blown away by it. And so even to me, I'm not a huge film person, and so I'm just like, oh, it seems interesting that they would use music as an extension of dialogue or whatever, but I don't know how that's exactly different But Gaga says it's different. Todd Phillips says it's different. Empire Magazine says it's different. So, I mean, what do I know?
I mean, I think what they mean by that is instead of like Moulin Rouge or Rent or something where they just break out into song and it's very colorful and maybe not colorful the right word, but just choreographed dancing and stuff like that. It sounds like it's going to be very edgy and literal mental patients
Yeah,
just
there's delusion
singing.
going on. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I talked in a previous episode about how I thought that music would be kind of used to show Arthur's kind of delusional space, like when he's kind of out
Mhm.
there doing his weird brain thing. So maybe that's what they mean.
I'm pretty excited also about the line. It's a film that doesn't just have one genre. So
Mm.
for me, I was thinking maybe the same, that it would be like A Star is Born, or it's like a very musical inspired music that they are playing with a lot of covers of old songs. But now I'm like excited for what kind of genre are they talking about, because I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, because a lot of people have said, oh, it's just going to be jazz covers or whatever. But I think you're right. I think this statement makes it seem like it's going to be a little more edgy.
And another theory that I have is the line uses music in an extremely specific way. I have the feeling that just like Shallow, kind of the part where at first Bradley is singing, then Gaga is singing, and it's like the invite from Bradley for Gaga to perform on stage. Like the whole structure of the song tells the story of the movie itself. And I think something similar can be seen in the trailer, where you can see Gaga having this match in her hand, and then we can see this piano on fire, which is like very metaphorical for the music that is kind of representing maybe their love and their relationship, like catching on fire. So maybe that's the way they use music in an extremely specific way, that the music, similar to A Star is Born, is like kind of a way of explaining their relationship.
I do like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a very interesting observation. Wow.
I think I just lost my spot on the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, all very exciting, and I think too, like there's just so much we don't know about this film that's what keeps me so hyped. Is I mentioned last podcast that we knew a lot about A Star Is Born, not only that it was a cover, but we had seen performances and stuff like that. So yeah, this, even let's hypothetically say LG7 gets delayed or something like that. I mean, we still have a lot to look forward to. So
I guess that concludes our little information on the Empire Magazine and Joker 2 news so far. And our next segment is on the rumors. Bling, take the stage.
everybody, we'd like to preface this section with, we want you to believe what you want. We're really only sharing rumors and tea for discussion's sake because we're all Gaga fans and this is fun. So if what we discuss and what's said here doesn't come true, don't come for us, don't come for Gaga, don't spread negativity. It's all in good fun.
That's right.
We just love sharing the news.
Yes. Spreading.
What was that?
What was that?
Without further ado, Cal is going to bring us into our rumor update for today.
Thank you, Bling. So even though there's only 3 days to talk about in terms of rumors, a lot of rumors have come out over those 3 days, so I better get cracking. So on August 3rd, we got some rumors from a user named Munket Sharona on Gaga Daily, and they believe a couple of things. One of them is that Circuit is on the album, LG7. They believe that Peggy Gou worked on a song for Gaga in the summer of 2022, according to one of her producers and collaborators, so she could be involved. They say that Red One was in Malibu in late 2023, and they liked Gaga's first studio pick in November, which they claim is unusual because he rarely likes stuff on Instagram unless he's directly involved. Munket also brought up the idea that Frankenstein, which was a song from the scrapped LG5 concept before it was reworked into Joanne, could have itself been reworked and reincarnated or brought back to life, like Frankenstein, for LG7. And because, I mean, it was never registered or sold or even used by Red One, who produced it. So that's a possibility, I guess. What else happened on August 3rd? Mr. Cupcake on Twitter claims that they heard Frankenstein backstage in Indianapolis, Indiana, USA, in 2017. And they just said it was melodramatic and gloomy and raw as for August 3rd, Joker 30 on ATRL claims that Gaga is currently on holiday, either in Europe or in the USA, taking a couple days of rest. And finally, Mind Trappa on Pop Justice responded to a post and insinuated that Gaga's team has a firm grasp on info this time around, which is why we're digging at the bottom of the barrel for rumors. And it's not because there's genuinely no information, it's that her team has their act together. So, what do we think about the rumors from August 3rd?
I think I'm pretty excited about the rumor about Red One, that he rarely likes stuff from Gaga, is something that I also observed in the past. And he really believed in Frankenstein. Like at the time that the song was in talks of being released on, I think there were rumors about Joanne B-side, about a darker album. He was really trying to promote this song.
Yeah, I actually remember him back in, was it 2017, 2018-ish? He was, I don't want to say weirdly obsessing over Gaga, but he was talking about her a lot. And I guess that might make sense if they actually did work together and they did make some amazing tracks and songs together. He would, of course, be disappointed that she never agreed to release them. So if those are the tracks now, that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that based on Munkett, I'm going to call him Munkett, based on Munkett's posts, all of the things that he is discussing is based on social media posts. So, for example, Circuit was either liking posts or sharing stuff in the studio around the same time. We kind of linked Gaga and Andrew Watt last year. There's a post from like 2022 where this producer said that Peggy Gao and Gaga were collaborating. The Red One and Malibu stuff was from social media. People commenting on Frankenstein was from social media. So he's kind of just reiterating what people are saying. But I don't know. There's so much we don't know. I think it's just more fun to kind of somewhat believe this stuff actually is happening. And Joker 30 was the user that spilled that she was going to be performing at the opening at the Olympics. So I trust that they're correct and that she's on holiday and that she will be getting back to the record soon. And lastly, Mind Trappa has been correct before, and before they were saying they hadn't heard anything, and we were like, okay, should we stop being delulu? But I think it just proves that, you know, they have that Beyonce level security and no one's hearing anything really at this point.
Cool. Thanks, guys. So for August 5th, we have 3 different sets of rumors. The first comes from the user Kevin on B Charts, which is a Brazilian pop forum. They claim that Abracadabra is Gaga's second self-produced and self-written song. If you guys remember, the one that comes before that, or the one that actually has been released, is Venus on Art Pop. And they think it's likely to be released next month, so in September of 24. And they say it's a risky proposal for a lead. Now, we've heard some of Abracadabra. It's one of the snippets that Freud is going to talk about a little later, so we'll see. They say that the lyric, "I've become a notorious being," is interpolated with "Zombie" by the Cranberries, which is okay. I mean, I could see someone making that up because it also sounds like
Easy guess, really.
"I've become a zombie" or something is one of the other things that people heard. And one of our Discord users, PP, went into the Discord server and said that this user, Kevin, earlier claimed that Gaga would be the guest on SNL for October 12th. Not the musical guest, just like the normal guest. So we'll see. And they say the lead is a partnership with Intel, which makes me laugh. Now, the user Palma on Gaga Daily said that they're hearing rumblings on certain other forums that Gaga might appear on the cover of the September issue of US Vogue. Now, didn't that come out today as being Blake Lively and not Gaga?
Yeah, something like that.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, another insider down the tube. Serpentine on Beach Arts claims to have heard Abracadabra in full. And they say that Abracadabra repeats the same chorus 4 times, and it's bad and not catchy. Now,
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say...
I just have one thing to say. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say you can't argue taste.
I just have to say that we heard 7 seconds a week ago or more than a week ago, and it's been stuck in my head for this long. So I don't believe them when they say it's bad.
Yeah, I'm totally obsessed with this song. I claim Abracadabra to be the best song on the album, and I haven't heard other songs, so I don't know what this person is talking about, but yeah.
Well, as long as they know that as reliable as they may or may not be, we don't like their taste. But anyway, they claim that Gaga will be on the cover of Vogue UK in October, photographed by Stephen Klein. So we'll see.
Woohoo!
They corroborate SNL on October 12th. They claim Rick Rubin is on LG7. And they also claimed that there is a rumored collaboration with the Japanese metal band Bridier. Yeah, I should have looked up how to actually say that band's name before I got on to the internet. But anyway.
Sorry, bread ear.
Bread ear. Yeah, their ears are just made of bread. So.
Sorry. Actually, though, I listened to that band yesterday.
Good.
Some of their songs, and they are fire. They are so good. And I could totally hear Gaga on that type of record. They're very metalcore influenced, just in my opinion. Someone else could correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I hear from them, and it sounds incredible.
Yeah, I think this is a bunch of really amazing rumors that we are hearing so far. Like an SNL appearance, even if she's maybe not a musical guest, is quite perfect and a good promotional spot if she might release an album to this date.
I was just going to say that I know a lot of people might be disappointed if she's the normal guest, not the musical guest, because it's like, oh, LG7, we want her to perform LG7 songs on SNL and not, be promoting, I suppose, Joker on SNL. Especially if that's like, well, I guess it's a week after the movie comes out in the United States.
Yep.
But, it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Well, I have to chime in and say I'm not sure. So this Kevin on Beach Arts is a self-proclaimed Katy cat.
Oh.
Under their username it says Katy cat. So I don't know how much weight I'm going to put into what they're saying. Also, after I wrote this outline, apparently there's been some discourse between Kevin and Serpentine. Saying I had this info first, you're just copying me, blah blah blah. So
fight,
we don't really know.
Fight.
Right.
Can't fight.
But I will definitely accept the Vogue UK cover photographed by Stephen Klein. The SNL appearance definitely makes sense 1 week after Joker, and it makes sense too, like if the album isn't coming until after, let's hypothetically say October 4th movie release, October 12th SNL, perhaps maybe there was a contract for like promotional stuff that she couldn't release music under, there's like all these conflict of interest clauses in between labels and Hollywood production studios, all that type of stuff. So I say that as someone who knows nothing about it, but so yeah, I'm wondering if that's it. But someone also mentioned the metal band Bridier. Apparently they only have like 7,000 likes, or there was some kind of like comment on their following, and someone said, oh, well, would she really feature someone who is so unknown? And to be honest, I think she would.
She would.
I think
she totally would, yeah.
She had an opportunity to kind of reconnect with her Asian base with Blackpink, and that kind of fell through. And so perhaps she is kind of, trying to reconnect with that again.
She's always been big in Japan too. Like they love her music.
Yeah, and in the past, maybe not with musical collaborations, but she's working with a lot of unknown designers. Like Selva is also a very fresh designer in the universe, and I think Gaga always embraced artists in general. It would make sense that she collaborates with music artists that are also very unknown.
And Notorious being, there's a, especially in the beginning of the clip, it sounds very metal, like very, I don't know, but it seems like it would definitely fit in with what Billy is saying their sound is. So
another rumor that's really interesting is the one that Abracadabra is apparently a self-produced and self-written song. I mean, I love Venus. I think it's one of her best songs to date. And me, for myself, I also love Just Another Day. I think I'm one of the only fans that likes this song, actually.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah,
I think
great.
it's self-written. It's not self-produced. I think Mark Ronson is also on it, but it's one of her self-written songs where she is 100% the songwriter of it. And I really enjoy what Gaga creates when she's on her own. And so I'm even more excited about Abracadabra if it's really a self-produced and self-written song. And I'm also really excited if they claim that it is a risky proposal for a lead. It seems like justice for Aura when her label didn't allow her to release Aura, and maybe this time she can do whatever she wants. And if she wants Abracadabra to be the lead, even if it might be risky, I hope she goes through with it.
And if she doesn't, we might get a Boris 2.0 again.
Let's move on to August 6th, or yesterday as of the day that this podcast is being recorded. We have some more potential rumors from Palma on Gaga Daily, so pinch of salt. They claim to have info from a Chinese Little Monster, and they say that Joker 2 is about to be released in China, and LG7's lead single will be released next Friday, August the 14th, in China. So soon.
August 14th, Friday?
Or they said LG7 will be released next Friday. And I'm supposing they meant lead single.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say because the 16th is the Friday.
Oh. Well, then I cannot do math. Just so everyone knows, my PhD is not in mathematics. It is in linguistics.
But we can see that.
Shut up. So, Palma also corroborated the Vogue UK cover in October. And they kind of wanted to shore up what they were saying by wanting to bring attention to the fact that art pop leaked from the Gaga Community Interest Forum on the Chinese app Tieba, and that supposedly the same Chinese individual had accurate Chromatica information, but they don't specify or support that in any way. So, I mean, what else from yesterday? In February of 2020, House Labs dropped an announcement 2 to 3 days before Stupid Love dropped. And also yesterday, as of the time of recording, she dropped a new eyeliner for House Labs. So there's some sort of sense of delusion that we're only a couple days away from at least the announcement of the first single, because we're hoping they do the same kind of marketing rollout as they did 4 years ago. We'll see. And finally, for yesterday, one of our Discord users, Mike, posted a couple of tweets from July 29th and 30th with more rumored LG7 snippets, which I'm just going to say sound like the lyrics are written with AI. I mean, it sounds like very good AI in terms of getting it to sound sort of like Gaga's voice. But I would take it more as this is the kind of stuff that fans want, more so than this is actually legit. What do you guys think?
Is that the snippet that we were talking about the other day?
Well, by the other day, do you mean yesterday?
Probably, yeah, most likely.
Because if it wasn't yesterday, then the answer is no.
Oh, okay. Well, one of those days, yes. It sounds like it came straight out of Suno AI.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, the vocals, the way it's clarity, the lyrics actually is what gave it away.
The lyrics give it away.
Yeah, I pressed generate lyrics, and literally, what's funny? Suno AI generates songs called Dance in the Shadow all the time. Like just randomly. Or Dance Within the Shadows, or Dance Around the Shadows. It seems like they're perfect things, so.
Or so many people are using Suno AI to try and dupe delulus that the AI itself is learning that it should spit out songs with that name.
Oh my god. Imagine if that's actually the case.
Like, it's like, okay, well, everyone's asking for this song, so therefore when people want a song, they want this.
The AI is learning
Makes
from
sense
Dance in
to
the
me.
Shadow.
Gaga impact.
So I just want to add a little footnote here. So late last night or early this morning, it actually came out. Alberto Barrera confirmed. So he's the director of the Venice Film Festival, and he confirmed Joker 2 would be premiering September 4th. So we
October
previously
4th.
had no idea. September 4th.
Oh, yeah, sorry, never mind. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
At the Venice Film Festival.
Ah, yes. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
more sense.
that tripped me up too. Sorry.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't know the claims that Joker 2 is about to be released in China, that's false.
Mhm.
But I'm very excited for the news of the Venice Film Festival, because it runs from August 28th through like September 7th, and we didn't know when it was dropping. So it kind of feeds into this theory that I'm going to share later. But other than that, more corroboration on the Vogue UK cover. And it should also be noted that the recent, or I guess yesterday, House Labs release was actually posted on Gaga's Instagram, which is interesting because over the last year, you can kind of tell she's been somewhat distancing herself as far as like her social media presence from House Labs. So it is noteworthy that she posted that ad on her Instagram. If we're trying to feed into the whole like Stupid Love came a couple days after the other House Labs post, so maybe it's something, maybe it's not, who knows.
For the House Labs thing, I think I saw today that it's being released, the new eyeliner, on the 27th of this month.
I saw that too. I think you're correct.
So if we're following the Stupid Love trajectory, I'm thinking 27th is a Tuesday, the 30th is a Friday. Could follow that pattern. I don't know. But also, Cal, do you by any chance know Mandarin or Cantonese? We might need you to go undercover into the Chinese Little Monster community.
I don't know it well enough to go on a forum and deal with Chinese gays on top of all the other gays that I deal with on a daily basis.
Well, seems like they might know some things that we don't know. So if there are any Chinese Little Monsters listening and you are part of these communities, please reach out to us if you have any additional information to share, because we would love to feature you and your news.
我不要，谢谢.
Clear-cut liquid eyeliner for the lead singer confirmed.
So the next set of rumors, I'm actually going to pass over to Bling, because Bling actually DM'd them directly to test their reliability. Bling?
Okay, everybody. So this particular tea spiller on Gaga Daily, who I will not name, had some bold claims. And so I put on my little detective hat and I messaged them. They were very nice. They provided a lot of information, some of which I can share and some of which I'm not going to. If you're asking about reliability, so they provided me timestamped receipts for the Stupid Love leak, the champagne commercial, the Dom Perignon commercial, the 911 music video, the VMA performance, the Chromatica Ball stage, etc. So I do trust this person. So this is where the tea starts. So they claim that LG7 was pushed back a bit after it was originally supposed to have a lead single in June, with the album in August, corroborating Selva's claims, and a tour mid to late December. And as you guys know, I think it was like January, February, there were some rumors circulating about tour plans before we knew anything about, I mean, we still don't know anything about LG7, but yeah, there was a rumor that popped up about tour plans late this year. Allegedly, Gaga wanted to continue working on the album to make it more cohesive. Allegedly, the album is currently in mastering stages without Gaga, as she is on vacation, which other insiders have said. So I also believe this person. Garden of Eden, thanks to Gaga Daily users Hello Hangovers, is not the lead, and that's also not the title of the song. It's just a working title. They also said that song and 13 other tracks were submitted to Interscope and have been tweaked. Descriptions of 2 songs heard by the source are Guy-esque, but darker. And another one could potentially fit into Act 2 of Chromatica.
Act 2 of Chromatica.
There's no... Yeah, like 911.
Sorry. I was like Act 2 art pop vibes.
Right, I know. I should have clarified that.
It's okay.
So lastly, there's no release schedule as of now, and the next deadline is very soon. So everything they told me checked out with stuff that has been said by other insiders or people claiming to be insiders. So moral of the story is, my assumption is what happened is the lead was actually supposed to drop in June. The album was actually supposed to launch in August. As we know from, being with this woman for 15 years, plans change. I think what happened is that the single is basically just going to come later than we thought. So if it was originally supposed to come in June, we're 2 months later. So perhaps lead in August and album in October. So before I continue, what are your guys' thoughts on what was said?
I actually think that most of the rumors make sense, as you mentioned, as a Gaga fan, as we are all Gaga fans ourselves. I just have in mind the Gaga 542 Netflix documentary, where we saw how the deadline worked for Joanne and how everything was very on time, and at the end there was not many time left for the mastering and stuff. So to be fair, we stand this woman for 15 years or so. So it kind of makes sense that it was scheduled for August and that there was maybe a single drop after the Chromatica Ball movie announcement. So it could be that things change. It would be totally typical for Gaga that she maybe thinks it's not cohesive enough and she wants to redo something, even if the label feels that it should be pushed out. So from a point of view of standing this woman for some years, it seems plausible that maybe things change and that some insiders that are reliable don't seem believable, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
I don't like this type of change.
Neither do I. I think we're all waiting patiently for LG7.
Waiting. I don't know about patiently, but waiting.
We try to.
We try.
So the other thing I'd like to reiterate is the tea that I presented last episode. I confirmed that the person received this information on July 16th. And so if they received this information on July 16th, it's now August 7th. I would still assume era stuff happening between August and September is still correct, because if that information was given to them, like I said, July 16th, it's only a couple of weeks from then. I think we're just now hearing about the delay, but I think it's actually, obviously, if it was supposed to come in June, I feel like it's been delayed for a while. We're just now finding out about it.
Yeah, it could be totally. I have one question that maybe we have to cut it out from the podcast, but I heard this rumor, or I saw something that Ozzy Osbourne is actually working with Andrew Watt right now.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Is this something that you have talked about in the podcast before, or is this like newer?
Yes. We knew that Ozzy Osbourne was waiting for Andrew Watt to be done with Gaga.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Andrew Watt posted a story or a post featuring Ozzy within the last week. And so we're all kind of thinking he's done and maybe he passed off mastering to someone else. We don't really know. So moving on, right before we recorded, and I wanted to touch on this because I had mentioned the credibility of this person, but Babylon Hooker actually came on, and they previously were kind of credited as an insider because they had gotten some Chromatica tea right. But the person that I spoke with who revealed the information I just shared also shared that Babylon Hooker's kind of been losing credibility. Earlier I said they mentioned something incorrect about the 911 music video. So Babylon Hooker comes into Gaga Daily and says, it's not coming. I'm sorry. And so we pushed for information, and all they said was something like, the sooner you accept it, the better your mental health will be. I did. And so we kept pushing for information and they didn't say anything. So I'm just kind of surmising that maybe they're having a meltdown about possibly not receiving any more information, and they I don't know. I think they're kind of involving us in their meltdown, and we shouldn't take that as the album's not coming. So I'd like to present a new theory. So earlier today, Halloween Horror Nights in, what is it,
Orlando, yeah.
Universal. Okay, so they posted a teaser for the Weeknd's exhibit at their kind of like upcoming Halloween attraction. And at the end of this teaser, it features different visuals from the Weeknd. He actually appears in it for a hot second. And at the very end of the teaser, it says The Weeknd returns. Now, as crazy Gaga fans, we know that at the end of the Chromatica Ball, after her new music, it says Gaga returns. Is it a common statement? Absolutely. But basically, there was an Orlando vlogger who formerly worked at Disney and said that there was supposed to be a Gaga attraction at Halloween Horror Nights this year, but plans fell through. Obviously, we could just accept that that's not happening. But what I find interesting is that not only is The Weeknd Returns eerily similar to Gaga Returns, but they're also rumored to have a song together. So this particular Halloween Horror Nights exhibit starts September 5th. As we now know, LG7 is highly rumored to get started towards the end of August. So this would be perfect timing for it to start. My personal thinking is the lead single is coming August 30th. This thing starts September 5th, and then put a potential album announcement mid-September with an October 25th album release date. What do you guys think?
Thinking we're waiting 3 months for a goddamn single.
So I know you like The Weeknd, so I was just
would like
asking,
to see it.
Based on The Weeknd returns, Gaga returns. She was rumored for Hollywood Horror Nights. Now he's approved for it. They're rumored to be doing a song together. I feel like I'm not super delusional here.
No, and considering the darkness and horror themes of LG7 that we've seen so far, I mean, it totally could have been a plan and it could have been scrapped. It totally could still be a plan for all we know. I'm excited though. The Weeknd doing this and the high rumors of Gaga and him collaborating on, well, what sounds to be Abracadabra. I hope that's a single in September.
Able.
I really appreciate The Weeknd as an artist for many years. And I think these two artists, it's very, after all that we saw the last month, it makes sense that these two artists are kind of intertwined. If we look at all these, if we look at all the Instagram stories that had like Prince connection to it, the Gesaffelstein rumors that are happening, it kind of feels the same way as there were some Ariana Grande rumors before Chromatica dropped. And it feels like there's something going on behind the scenes. And that's why we have so many rumors and theories that go into this direction, because there were, I think it was that Ariana Grande and Gaga were spotted in the studio in back in the day when there was no track list of Chromatica, and there were many other rumors. I can't remember them right now, but there was a lot happening, so it kind of feels like the same. It would totally make sense if they collaborate, but as Billy said, we don't know till the last minute if the collaboration, if there is one, will actually happen.
And these Weeknd rumors have been rumored since the beginning of the year, and they haven't been discredited yet. They've only been kind of piling up, if that makes sense.
And I think I mentioned last episode, the Weeknd is performing in Brazil September 7th. And that fits hypothetically perfectly between the first Joker premiere and I think the next premiere is near Billy, the Toronto International Film Festival. I believe is the next day, or I think it's the 9th actually. So if she is doing that performance, it could work with the schedule. So we'll just see.
Maybe I'll be broadcast live from Toronto.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Lady Gaga. Where the is the album? Hands microphone over.
That's the first question I have. Where the
Yes.
is LG7?
Magic potions take time.
So that's it for our rumor section. Now on to our main topic here with our guest Freud. He'll be talking about the Abracadabra snippet from the 28th of July that Gaga played for fans in Paris. And here's a snippet if you haven't heard it.
All right, thank you so much, Billy. So we all heard the two snippets that Gaga played in Paris. So my first question to all of you guys is, what are your thoughts about Abracadabra 1 week later?
It's my favorite of the three things that we've heard, and it's like a 2024 version of like Aura meets Wine. So I am totally ready for it.
Yeah, I actually also love this song so much. It's also my favorite out of all three snippets that we have officially so far.
It sounds magical to me.
It goes super hard.
Do you like the production of Abracadabra? And can you identify any rumored producers that might be involved?
Yeah, Gesaffelstein.
Schaffelstein.
Yeah.
For me, it's also very Burns coded. I mean, Burns did like Sour Candy and Replay. And I think this could be a co-production of Burns as well. I think Andrew Watt I don't think that there's so much involvement of Andrew Watt, but I definitely hear some Gesaffelstein and Burns.
Burns has always been really good at creating beats that flow well. And that beat does flow pretty in a Burns style way.
We have to keep in mind too that Andrew Watt did solely produce I think it was solely, but Miley Cyrus's "Give Me What I Want," which interpolates Nine Inch Nails closer. So he is capable of more than just kind of like the rock legends that he works with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So for me, actually, the Abracadabra snippet also had some similarities to the art pop unreleased songs Stash and Party Nauseous. Like it had like the same high energy, but with like these sound elements of Bloody Mary and maybe even Government Hooker, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Pretty excited what this song could go in which direction this song could go to. So in the first snippet, the lyric Abracadabra can be heard, which is very fitting to a theory of witchcraft and alchemy. And do you guys remember the Coachella performance in April of 2017 of Gaga?
Oh, the witching hour stuff.
Yes, exactly. So there were a lot of hints that the next album after Joanne, or a possible Joanne B-side, could be about witchcraft. We had Gaga at the end saying it's the witching hour. She had like this interlude which had really dark imagery. There was like ravens in the background. She also wore the black hair in the interlude that she wore in the Chromatica Ball film premiere, which could be a hint that there could be some link. So, as you also mentioned before, there was in November of the same year, in November of 2017, fans claimed that Gaga played them a track called Frankenstein. So here's my first theory. What if LG7 is actually the scrapped LG5 album, and it could be Witchcraft Gaga?
Yay.
I believe it. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Already.
I think she may be visiting similar themes or whatever, but I don't think she would necessarily necromance a complete album or era and just redo the exact same songs over. But I mean, I don't know.
That's true, because I think what's sticking out in my mind is when she was interviewed for, like right after filming American Horror Story, she talked about the art of darkness, and I think she even commented on making music inspired by that. So I don't necessarily think she would take 12 tracks and 2024 produce them and release them, but I definitely think there's some original LG5, if you will, influence on LG7.
Yeah, I think that the concept that she had in mind for LG5, and then she changed because she kind of met Mark Ronson, and then she went into a different direction with Joanne. But I think the concept of the album might be rooted back in 2017, as she was hinting towards the more darker side of her. And before she announced her Enigma residency, there were these dark pictures, like these black and white pictures of her body being very morphed. She even had like a nose that kind of looked like a witch at some point. So what if this was also an idea, or maybe she also hinted about this could have been the direction of LG6 and the Enigma residency before it even got scrapped again.
I love that.
So what I have in mind is that I think Gaga had this theme and this concept that she's now doing at LG7. I think she kind of had the idea for many years, but now she kind of formed it into the album she wants it to be. And maybe that's why she feels so comfortable talking about it, because it's something she had
for 10 years.
Yeah, I had forgotten about the Eli Russell, whatever, photo shoot. That was one of my favorite ones. And yeah, that can totally play into this whole theory.
So to get more into this theory of witchcraft and alchemy, I just wanted to tell about alchemy in general. So you may or may not know what alchemy is all about, but just to make a quick summary of it, you can just call it occult science. It's mostly a process of transforming, creating, and combining matters. So, for example, very known for alchemy is the creating of gold out of metals, and creating and finding elixirs, or creating life out of unalive things, which immediately brought me to Frankenstein, which kind of fits into the alchemy theme of putting body parts together of a person that is unalive to create life again. It kind of fits into the theme. So what do you think about that?
We know one of the lyrics as "Stitch Me Back Up" or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That fits.
Yeah, it was one of the fans that she sang it to, I believe. That commented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's correct.
So that would fit in with the alchemy and basically combining things to create something new.
Yeah. So to go further on with that, do you know where the magic spell Abracadabra originated from?
No.
So the first mentioning of the word Abracadabra goes back to the 2nd century CE. A Roman savant called Quintus Serenus Zamonicus released a book called Liber Medicinalis. It's the book of medicine. And he advised of creating an amulet with the word abracadabra to be hung around the neck of sufferers of deathly fevers and malaria. So he prescribed that the word be written on subsequent lines with one less letter each time, forming a downwards pointing triangle. Hence abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadab, abracad, and so on. But it can also be the other way around, that it's abracadabra, bracadabra, racadabra. So there are many variations, but the story behind it is that with every word spoken, every letter that disappears, the person loses the illness he suffers. This also plays into the alchemy theme of very occult science about it's medicine, but it's actually not, and it's very magic involved. So what are your thoughts on hearing the roots or hearing the origin of abracadabra?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is when you were talking about the subsequent lines and forming a downwards pointing triangle, and our kind of thinking, or Dante's Inferno theory, where she's looking down in some of the studio posts. I know that sounds far-fetched, but it's just kind of weird to have multiple posts where you're looking down. And yeah, I feel like, I mean, maybe it'll come out and it has nothing to do with this, but I love stuff like this.
It is, yeah, having ancient symbology almost.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, because I also didn't know the origin of the word. Like, everybody knows that it's a magic spell and that you use it for transformation or everything, that you use it like to create magic or to transform something. But it was really interesting to see the roots of the origin, and Gaga might use this for her concept of the album.
When the song's out, I can't wait for all the Harry Potter memes.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
You're a wizard. Gaga.
it's really interesting after revisiting all these snippets and all these hints towards alchemy. After listening to the Abracadabra snippet, there was, as you already mentioned in the Sonnet of the Night, the line, "Through alchemy, the artist's mind a maze." And in general, the whole segment of this monologue is an idolatry of nature in general. She's like talking about nature as this big force that you kind of worship. So it kind of makes sense, and it is very close to what alchemy and witchcraft and even today's paganism, like people that kind of believe in witchcraft. There's like this community of pagan. I'm not very into that. Like, I don't know very much about it, so I don't want to say anything wrong. But in paganism in general, they are very close to nature. Maybe some of you know more to this.
I just know that Wicca is definitely very intertwined with nature, for sure.
Yeah. So to further prove this, that there's a lot of alchemy mentioning in Gaga's recent posts and recent information, the Instagram post "A Poem for a Monster" also said, "I found a way back to myself again with different tones and metals I could bend." And I found it really interesting knowing Gaga, and she always keeps in mind what words she uses.
Mm-hmm.
And the line "metals I could bend" really stood out to me and made me believe, well, I'm pretty sure this is a hint to alchemy.
Yeah, no, it all lines up. And she's been mentioning alchemy and all this witchcraft stuff and all this stuff that seems magic. And what you are saying, it all connects. And it has been connecting for many, many years.
So further proof to this theory is that the TikTok comments that we already know, magic potions take time. There was this Instagram story she once posted about the bed, and she also mentioned the moon and the Chromatica Ball film and the Chromatica Ball itself a lot, like the interlude of the moon that was cut out of the film, which was very suspicious. She also mentioned the new moon and the Stupid Love behind the scenes of the Stupid Love music video, and she mentioned the moon apart from the Chromatica Ball film and many other shows she was playing in. So as I was doing my YouTube theory videos about, it could be about the moon, it could be about this album called Vespertilio, it could be about anything, I was thinking about, well, what if this is about witchcraft and alchemy? Because it would kind of conclude all these theories together. It would kind of combine theories into one. So what do you think about the things leading towards the theme of witchcraft and alchemy? And would you be here for an album like that from Gaga?
Personally, I am obsessed with it. Especially towards the latter part of your commentary, it matched up with what we dove into. So obviously we haven't really spoke about this before. So it's interesting that your perspective and our perspective definitely matched up. So that makes it a little more credible, I think. And would I be here for it? I mean, absolutely. I think with the success of Bloody Mary, she's definitely seen that culture has embraced this part of her. So I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, I think Bloody Mary just proved how ready not even her fans, but the general public is for darker pop music, and Gaga in general creating darker pop music.
And no one's, Kim Petras did it for a hot minute, but no one's doing it right now. So
Gaga's territory.
She really was the OG to do like horror-based pop, because even Madonna never really went into that. So
yeah, she was more religious symbology, not really more dark.
Well, I'm sorry, I need to edit that because I guess we have to obviously credit Michael Jackson with Thriller, but I definitely think Gaga got lots of inspiration for Bad Romance and all of her dark stuff from Thriller, for sure.
I mean, what I wanted to say, other than bringing up Michael Jackson, was I am getting kind of evil vibes from the new Katy Perry record, because, but other than that...
Alrighty, and on to the second snippet that Gaga played from her car at the end of July in Paris. She played a song that sounds, well, like this.
It's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it.
So the second snippet that we just call Notorious Being, even though we are not sure if these are actually the lyrics, sonically, I would describe it as electronic music with strong industrial rock influences and dark synths. Its production, for me, is very similar to Heavy Metal Lover or Electric Chapel from Born This Way. For me personally, I believe that Andrew Watt really drove this production of the song. There maybe is some involvement of Burns, but I don't hear a lot of Gesaffelstein. So it's really, as you mentioned, very strongly industrial rock influenced, but still it has this electronic character to it, which is like very typical for Gaga. So it's not only industrial rock, but it also has this electronic sound to it and these synths that are still in it that kind of make it or give it that Gaga-esque feeling. So, do you remember the rumors about Mark Romanek in the talks as a music video director?
Yes.
Yes.
So as you remember, Bobby Campbell, Lady Gaga's manager, followed Mark Romanek, and he's a music video director that worked with artists such as Madonna, David Bowie, and Michael Jackson. They also worked together on the Judo commercial back in 2019. And here comes the theory. He directed music videos like No Doubt's Hella Good, Iggy Pop's Beside You, and 9 Inch Nails' The Perfect Drug and Closer. And just by seeing these music videos and listening to the songs, it kind of gives me the vibe of LG7. And sonically, the snippet and the second snippet that we heard, called Notorious Being, it fits perfectly into the genre of electronic industrial rock, where 9 Inch Nails can be counted to, or where 9 Inch Nails can be put into. So what if Gaga chose to work with Mark Romanek as a tribute to the genre and the sound she's exploring on LG7? Just, for example, when she did the Applause music video, it kind of had this avant-garde magazine vibe to it, which kind of makes sense because she worked with Ines and Vinod, which are mostly known for these avant-garde photo shootings, and therefore they directed the Applause music video. So my theory is that actually for LG7, these theories about Mark Romanek totally get supported by the second snippet that we heard, because he kind of seems like a director of this kind of music and this kind of genre. So what are your thoughts on this theory?
Well, yeah, it's interesting that you brought him up. We discussed him briefly in another episode, but I can't remember who from Gaga's team, but they had posted like a screenshot of listening to 9 Inch Nails Closer, or one of their posts featured that song. And it happened a couple different times. So I definitely think there's some connection with Mark Romanek. Also, there was a rumor thread in Gaga Daily that Mark Romanek was associated with a music video shoot for Gaga in early June or mid-June, excuse me. I'm hyped for that because he directed one of Madonna's best music videos, which is Bedtime Story. And also obviously Closer, and that stuff is wild. So I think he could only bring out the best in her.
Yeah, it sounds like a theory, and we'll see exactly what happens. It seems, like a pretty okay idea to me. But I'm just sitting here, waiting for the actual thing to come out so we actually know, what's true and what's not.
Come on, official news, please.
Yeah. I'm sitting here waiting for her to bang the gong.
Freud, in your research, do you know which Bowie and Michael Jackson videos he directed? Because I don't.
Oh, yeah. So for Michael Jackson, it was the Scream music video with his sister, which is very iconic for like this dance break. It had like this very science fiction vibe to it. I think it was also black and
Yes.
white, or mostly black and white. And
It was black and white.
yeah. And for David Bowie, I actually don't know.
It is the 1993 singles Jump They Say and Black Tie White Noise for David Bowie.
Okay.
Nice.
Very good.
Okay.
But I think Hella Good is also black and white, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But Bedtime Story is not black and white. So but the thing that's linking all of it, I mean, he just has this very impressive vision, perspective, lighting choices, all that stuff. So he's definitely.
Have you actually seen the music video for Closer of Nine Inch Nails, or do you know it?
It's like my favorite of all time.
Okay, yeah. It's very experimental and very artistic, and I think it was really, for its time it was released, it was very controversial, and it's still so strange as a music video to see it, but it's I appreciate it a lot, and I think it kind of reminded me of Bad Romance in some parts and some points.
Yes. It was actually banned from MTV for a while, and so they had to do like an edited version. Because there's like naked women, there's bondage, there's like a monkey on a crucifix, there's crazy stuff in there. So
Yeah. So this is just what my theories are about Notorious being, because there's actually not much that you can get out of the lyrics. So mostly it's sonically, and what I kind of got out of there is that it's very close connected to Nine Inch Nails.
So thank you, Freud, for all that information. Those were some really actually insightful theories and some discussions on the 2 snippets that you played. I'm excited to see these come to fruition, and I really hope that most of your theories, if not all of them, do come true. But on to our last segment is our listener question area, and I will let Bling take the lead on this.
okay, so Pancheco actually submitted 2 questions. One we answered last week. This week, their question is: considering the parallels with Prince and his Batman album, do we still think Joker and LG7 are somewhat correlated?
Yes.
That was a very quiet yes.
I mean, I'm sticking to everything we've discussed in basically every single episode before this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason why those should be discredited yet. So I fully think that they're going to be synergized in one way or another.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I'm actually not quite sure about these parallels. I also kind of dig into it, and it would make sense because she uses some T-shirts with Joker on it and everything. But I'm not sure if there will be that much connection between Joker and LG7. To be quite honest, that's just my opinion. By getting through all the hints, it might be correlated. Of course, she mentioned hell, and as there was like the spoiler that happened as she was filming, she was kissing this woman after she said she's going to hell. So maybe this could be a correlation that she's kind of teasing her album even in the film or the movie. That's just a theory, but I think sonically, I think these will be separated. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I go back and forth because if you were to ask me back in June, I would say absolutely. But since it's come out that she is somewhat more of a supporting character, in one way, I'm like, I don't think they're going to be related at all, considering now what has been revealed about how the music is in the film, how it's used. But again, it could be, we can all hear Gaga saying, well, I was inspired. The truth is, I was inspired by Harley's descent into madness and her own personal hell. I could totally see her saying that. So yeah, I'm 50-50 on this one.
I mean, like I said, it would be cool if it was, and if it is cool, if it's not cool. I mean, this is not very entertaining listening. I'm very neutral when it comes to this.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel like she's going to be mentioning some things when the album eventually does come out, saying how, oh yeah, Harleen did inspire some of my music. She'll probably say things like that, maybe be more general.
Yeah, and I think we kind of got into the idea of this happening partially because of like the photo that she had of her in the studio with Prince behind her or with purple lighting or whatever, which is, prior episode that we did. So, I mean, I think there's
Oh,
enough
yes.
kind of delulu stuff there to put the pieces together and assume this if you want to. And there's enough stuff not there for you to say no, right? So
Yeah, totally. I think I could totally see that there's like sonically there's a Prince correlation between LG7 and maybe some inspiration behind it. What I rather see is that she's maybe releasing separate music with Joker Folie Deux. It might be, as she mentioned in the Chromatica Ball film interview that was leaked online, she mentioned that she did a lot of music. So for me, this sounds like, so maybe she created LG7, and besides, in parallel to LG7, she created some songs on the soundtrack for Joker 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the original songs. Something. Wait, are those confirmed or were
I
those
think these
rumors?
were still rumors,
Right?
right?
Four
okay.
were rumored, and then I guess all I'm gonna say is based on things that I've heard, they could potentially push less than that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Go bling. Well, folks, that wraps up today's episode. I want to thank Freud so much for coming on this episode and sharing all of his theories, speculation, and ideas with us here.
So thank you so much, guys, for having me. It was a blast talking with you, and I just wanted to make a shout out and invite you to feel free to get joined on my YouTube channel, freud.officialmusic. I do, apart from my pop explained videos where I explain LG7 and Lady Gaga content, I also do reaction videos. I would just like to invite House of Delulu for a reaction on my YouTube channel.
Ooh, I will accept that invite.
Absolutely.
Sehr gerne.
Thank you.
Freut mich sehr. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So thank you so much again for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you, and let's just hope that LG7 is not that far away, so we can actually stop with the theories and start with the music.
All right, everyone. So thank you, Pencheco, for your question. If anyone would like to submit their question for us to answer live on air, you can comment on the podcast or leave your question in the suggestions channel at our House of Delulu Discord.
And additionally, you can come to our Discord by searching discord.gg/House of Delulu. That brings you straight to our Discord server where you can talk with us, speculate, share your rumors, tea, whatever you want, or even just ask questions for the podcast. Additionally, down in the links below here, the podcast episode, you will find links to our Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and also Freud's content on his YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter as well.
Shall I go?
Sexy, confident.
Unintelligent. Danke dir, Freud, und schlaf gut.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. See you next time around. Bye bye.
Stream lifetimes. No.
Now, when you say don't do it, I do it.
Okay, well, Katie will get 2 streams.